Hello and welcome to another video on the internet phenomenon that is Acacia Kersey, and although she is currently an inactive influencer, during her active years online, she's gone through plenty of controversies, including her controversy when it comes to animal ownership. In this video I will cover it in depth, and as requested, I will give an update about Acacia's current activity at the end of it. Before I start the video, I have to give a warning that this topic has to do with animal mistreatment and neglect, and can be disturbing to some, so your discretion is advised. While researching, I found an old video of Acacia doing a Q&A where she talks about all the pets her family has owned, and I believe this makes total sense in establishing a pattern for Acacia to follow, which is what resulted in her owning many pets as an inexperienced teen, and later as an irresponsible adult.
Had 5 cats. Paradise, Cotton, Miyaka, Mississippi, Montana, 6 cats actually, because I forgot about Wicket. So Cotton, Paradise, Miyaka, Mississippi, Montana, Wicket, 6 cats. And I've had 7 dogs: Autumn, Winter, Rhino, Mickey Mouse, Candy, and Cookie. And I've had hermit crabs, 3 of those. I don't remember their names. Mine's name is Dora though. I've had a possum before. These bears used to live in my old house in Pennsylvania. Like, they lived in the forest behind my house. So technically I've had bears, and I had baby bears. And then I've had a lot of fishies, and I've had a lot of turtles. You know those ones from Chinatown? Not actual China? Like $2 for 2 turtles? Okay.
As Acacia mentioned, she had multiple pets throughout her life, and it's hard to keep up with the timeline because of the amount of them, but I tried my best. This thread on Twitter helped me to keep track of all the information a lot. One of the first pets Acacia ever owned as a public figure was a rat named Roman, who she featured on her social medias and featured him in videos. Even made him his own Twitter account. From the photos on this account, it's clear that for the most part, Roman was kept in a tiny cage just barely bigger than himself, and they also feature Paradise, a cat Acacia owned at the same time as Roman. After some time, both pets stopped making appearances on her social medias. Next was an Australian Shepherd puppy Acacia adopted and named Jabba. She had this puppy for a little while until one day Acacia tweeted that her mom is making her give him away. She said, "Today's gonna be a really hard day. My mom's getting rid of Jabba. My mom's giving me another day to find him a home, so if any of my friends want a really nice and cute puppy, then you can have Jabba." She clarifies that if she can't find him a home, he'd be taken to a no-kill shelter. At this point, Acacia was still a teen, and I think it's irresponsible of her parents to allow her to own her own pet when she was clearly not ready to take proper care or responsibility for it. But it seems that the best decision in this case was made, and Jabba found a new home with a big backyard where Acacia could visit him whenever she wanted to and take him back when she's ready, though she said it would be unfair to the family and never took him back. And I think it would be unfair to Jabba too, if he went to an owner that is not sure if they truly want him or are ready to care for him. Next was a cat named BB-8, which Acacia adopted while away from her home during a movie shoot in Arizona. Unfortunately, just like Jabba, Acacia couldn't keep BB-8 because she had an extreme allergic reaction to him, and just a little over 2 months later, BB-8 was given away. Despite being allergic to cats and having to rehome some already because of her allergies, Acacia went on to adopt 2 more cats once she was home, a Himalayan named Cotton and a Sphinx named Sebastian.
We got the house, dude. Are you excited?
He's excited for stairs. So is Cotton. He's over there. Nice laundry pile, okay?
It's unclear which cat came first, but during this time, Acacia was already seeing Jairus, and the couple flew to New York for an event together, leaving Cotton home alone for 4 days. They left him with large bowls of food and water, but when they got home, the bowls were infested with ants, and poor Cotton has gone without food and water for days.
We get home, and we see that our house has been taken over by ants.
It's disgusting.
And we feel terrible because Cotton was staying here, and we gave him like 2 bowls of food and just like a giant thing of water, so he'd be fine while we were gone for 4 days. And we come back, and I'm like, wait, why didn't Cotton eat any of his food? And I turn the light on, and it's just like covered with ants, like in every spot. So he didn't eat anything because the ants were just all over it. Like, poor Cotton. I'll try to, here, look at this. It goes all the way, I'll show you where it starts, but it's like all over his food bowls. All the way down this all the way over here, 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 and they're coming in through that hole right there in the wall.
Disgusting.
Okay.
Not much longer after this, Acacia and Jairus moved to a house together, which was bigger than their apartment and had a backyard, yet they said that the only place for the cats would be in the garage.
I don't know this, but unfortunately, we are.
Basically, when we get to our new house, there's really only one spot that the cats can be, and that would have to be in the garage. And the garage is big, it's cool, we can set it up really nice, but the truth of the matter is we know that we won't be going in there very often. So, bless you. So what we're gonna have to do for the better of the cats is, relocate Sebastian to one of our friends and give Cotton back to her dad. And that doesn't mean that we don't love them or care about them. It means that we love them and care about them more than any of you think, because we want them to have the best possible life that they can possibly have. There's no other way to go around it. You can say like all the mean comments you want, but really, like, it's the best environment for the cats to be with people who we know can take care of them and give them 100% attention and love. It would be selfish for her and I to, keep them in the garage and just kind of like let them be by themselves most of the time. It just wouldn't make any sense. So we want to give them the best life that they can possibly have. So yeah, that's what's going to happen, and it's hard to do because we love them very much, and you guys all know that by now. If you don't think that that's true by now, then I don't know who you're kidding. But we love them to death, and we'll definitely be visiting them. And who knows? Maybe later down the road, maybe we'll have a place where we can have them around, and we can go get them back or whatever. It's kind of up to the universe right now, but we definitely want to give them the best love and the best attention that they can possibly have.
Well said. But Sebastian is going to my friend Reagan. She gets back from her trip in 5 days, so I have 5 days left with him. So I'm taking every second I can to get in everything, I guess. So I'd say. Which is why I've been sneezing so much, because I was cuddling him one morning, and my allergies have been getting a lot worse. I can't even touch him really anymore. So I've just kind of been forcing myself on him, basically, just so I can give my last moments of love to him.
Even with all the tears, this seemed like a very convenient excuse to get rid of some more animals who weren't getting proper care, so just like all the other animals, the cats had to be rehomed. Cotton went to Acacia's dad's house and still lives with her family, and Sebastian was given away to Acacia's friend Reagan, who talked about the adoption on her Twitter and said he was given to me in the worst condition and I couldn't take care of his pre-existing health issues, but this is the best thing for him. I just want to say thank you to Lena Bugs and her family for everything that they're going to do for Sebastian. He deserves to be with them. They are literally saving his life, and I couldn't be more thankful. So on that note, don't ever adopt an animal that you cannot take care of. Animals are not an aesthetic. They are an effing job. If you're not ready for a lifelong commitment, don't take that animal. Thank you for bringing me so much joy these last few months. I love you forever, Mr. Stinky. Reagan mentioned Lena, a woman who took Sebastian from her because she was not aware of their severity when she took on Sebastian. Lena spoke about Sebastian and his conditions plenty on her social media, starting early on when she spoke about him on Twitter and said, he has to get all his teeth extracted tomorrow. It hurts him to even eat, poor guy. He has gingivitis that has gone untreated, he'll be okay though. Someone tweeted, makes me so sad and angry when owners don't take proper care of their pets. At least your cats have a great loving home now. Lena quote tweeted and said, sometimes it's hereditary in purebred cats like him, but it should have been treated a long time ago. On top of the gingivitis, Sebastian had a skin condition, and here are photos of him while in Acacia's care and after Lena adopted him. He looks much better, and she still posts about him being healthy and happy today. Next was Tibbers, another Australian Shepherd puppy that Acacia adopted in 2015. Someone asked Acacia why she is taking on another dog when she just had to give one away last year. She replied, because Jabba needed attention 100% of the time and needed space to run 5 to 6 miles a day. I'm not moving around as much as I was with Jabba. Like now I could take Jabba back, but that's not right to his new family. At this point, many people caught on to Acacia's serial animal ownership and rehoming, and were questioning whether or not she's ready to take on another pet. Someone said, so much for Jabba. Bye bye Tibbers in about 2 months. Acacia quote-tweeted and replied, "So over people saying this. I had Jabba 2 years and he didn't have a good life with me back then. I'm ready now." At this point, they still had the cats and now Tibbers. Not much longer after adopting Tibbers, Acacia and Jairus adopted 2 more dogs, Ava and Lucy, who they planned to make outdoor dogs in their new house, as they said in the moving vlog earlier. One big controversy that happened during this time was Acacia screaming at Tibbers, who was still a young puppy at this time, during a live stream, and then defending herself on Twitter. She said, "I effing yelled at him as loud as he barked at me. Get the stick out of your ass. He's a happy dog." This worried many people, given Acacia's history with pets and their lack of care behind closed doors. But when Tibbers was only about a year old, Jairus posted on his Facebook saying Tibbers is free to a good home. The cats were given away after the move, and Ava disappeared too. At this point, Acacia and Jairus owned only Lucy, and Acacia talked about Lucy's struggles, saying, "Lucy throws up if she's in the car longer than 3 minutes and she gets bad anxiety going on walks with cars and people all around, so we can't bring her anywhere." Lucy also had her own Instagram where her owners posted about how Lucy came to their family. Acacia wrote, "This was our baby girl exactly 1 year ago today. For those who didn't know, Lucy came from a very scary place and a very questionable man who clearly had no intentions of giving any of the dogs he bred a good life, only saw them as cash. We really weren't fans of Lucy when we met her. She was terrified of us and super dirty and huge when we were looking for a puppy. But something struck a chord in us. We knew we had to get her out of there immediately. Not knowing what would happen or where she'd end up, we brought her to our house for the first time to watch over her and feed her. She sat in this spot day in and day out and did not move except in the middle of the night while we were sleeping to eat and drink. However, she still did not eat or drink much. We had to carry her outside to use the bathroom and carry her back inside when she was done every day, twice a day, for about 5 months. We were patient with her. We didn't push her. We just listened and waited. Slowly, and I mean slowly, Lucy began to come out of her shell. She started to walk outside into our gated front yard to pee. She started to play a little. She was eating regularly, getting more used to humans. It took a very long time for her to be comfortable walking on a leash or outside, because she clearly never had. Of course, some of that Lucy is still inside her. She is still very shy around new people and pretty scared of loud noises. She doesn't like to walk on hardwoods because she slips and slides. She isn't very fond of long walks with a leash, especially if there's other people around. She's confused about what showers are and where we go once we close the curtain. Also very confused about socks and why she cannot eat them while we're trying to put them on. But she loves so much. She loves snow. She loves big open fields. She loves all of her toys. She's very protective of them and will definitely tussle you if you try to take them from her bed. She loves to be invited onto the couch and snuggled. She loves apples and cinnamon Pop-Tarts and dentist sticks. She loves her big pink tennis ball and her tiny basketball. She loves to swim in the river and loves to be chased at the dog park. She loves when you howl at her like a dog so she can howl back. She loves when her daddy comes home and yells her name from the bottom of the stairs as she comes running down. She just recently learned how to sit and lie down on command, which took quite a long time to teach. Many boxes of treats. She's a dog that is more human than most humans I know. She's a dog that has grown and accomplished and overcome so much. She's a dog that makes you write giant Instagram captions about because she's so darn amazing. I love my Lucy girl. She's something special, very special to me. I cannot wait for her to be the bestest friend to our baby girl. In this post, Acacia basically admitted that they got their dog from a puppy mill, though she makes it sound like Lucy was rescued and not purchased from someone who is likely to go on and continue to breed dogs into the same situation Lucy was in. Considering many of the previous pets were purebred, it wouldn't be surprising if she wasn't the first who came from this type of environment or last. Next came Grave the betta fish, and as his name insinuates, he did not live long. There's not much footage or photos of Grave, but if I can find any, I will insert them.
I really wasn't ready to share just because, I was some people are probably gonna think I'm really silly, but I really cared for him and like loved him so much. But I'm not gonna start crying. We're good.
I remember that after the Kerseys moved out of their trailer, Acacia said in a vlog that Grave was in a jar at the back of their closet. I'll try to find this clip, but it might have been deleted from the channel. After Grave's passing, the Kerseys decided to rescue another dog from a breeder. They drove to Washington to purchase their next puppy, a gray and tan speckled dachshund. This dog is clearly from a breeder, and many people were very concerned for the puppy's health and Acacia's immorality when choosing to adopt another dog from a breeder to match her aesthetic rather than adopt a dog from a shelter. Just like most influencers, Acacia posted about her dogs and used them in ads and promotions, and I thought this was worth mentioning because of two posts specifically. This one, where Acacia is using Poppy to promote a Trolls doll, because this toy is meant for children ages 3 and up, which Acacia's kids were not at the time, and I find it hilarious she used her dog for a kid's toy ad. The second post is from December of 2020, where she talks about her past with animal ownership and seems to own up to some of the damage she's done. Acacia said, "Did you know I had other animals before Lucy and Poppy? Did you know I had to rehome several animals because I thought I could take care of them, but in reality I was just greedy and incapable? Lucy used to have a few siblings that didn't stay in our family because of many reasons, but the biggest being I was selfish and wanted the idea of an animal more than I wanted to take care of an animal. Unfortunately, this still happens every single day, and with the holidays approaching and present puppies going under thousands of Christmas trees, I've decided to donate 10% of my next 3 checks to ASPCA to correct my wrongdoings and to potentially save many other pets out there. I have truly lived and learned firsthand that animals need serious devotion and commitment. I'm incredibly grateful to have Poppy and Lucy in our family, and they will be our best friends till the end of time." It's nice to see Acacia own up to some of what she's done and address it instead of running from accountability and continuing to buy animals. But many people felt that this was too little too late and were still skeptical of Acacia's intentions and sincerity. I've never seen any evidence of the donations being made, but if I find any more information, I'll link it in the description like all my sources. I wanted to add another controversy that happened when it comes to Lucy when the Kerseys gave her a puppy cut, which is a haircut given to dogs of certain breeds with long hair, but not Australian Shepherds, which is what Lucy is because they have a double coat and they should not be given puppy cuts. In a past vlog, Acacia said Jairus' family owns a doggy daycare, and many people were speculating that Acacia is keeping her dogs there and only takes them out for photo shoots with the family.
So that's Jairus' house, and this is Dog Paw, right next door.
It's my family-owned and operated business, the doggy daycare, and it's awesome. This is what it looks like. We walk in and some puppies. Puppy time.
Maybe it's a big puppy.
Tibbers. Tibbers.
Personally, I don't think this is true. My pets are happy and well loved, and I never show them on social medias, so although they might have left the dogs at the daycare to be looked after sometimes, I doubt it was a permanent situation. In July of 2021, just 1 year ago, Acacia announced she is quitting her role as an influencer after yet another scandal where she stole another creator's product, repackaged it, and sold it as her own, which I did a video on, and was far from being the first scandal Acacia was in. At this point, she had only a small group of people blindly supporting her, and the majority of her audience was just asking for accountability and refunds from all the scams she's put her followers through. Instead, she chose to post about the damage that was done to her while being a public figure, and start a private Patreon where she charged people to see photos of her family and children. At this point, many people caught on to Acacia's scummy and malicious behaviors, and she had very few people willing to support her without seeing her own up to her actions and take accountability first. Patreon was clearly another money grab from Acacia, trying to squeeze the last little bit of money out of her most loyal followers. Because of how obvious this was, a Twitter user decided to sign up to Acacia's Patreon and share her posts as a warning to anyone else considering joining that it is not worth it. Still, some of the things coming out from Acacia's Patreon caught people's attention, like this picture including a fish tank, and Acacia commenting about owning this betta fish for quite a while. When the Patreon endeavor was over and Acacia moved on to making quilted mouse ears as a side business, like all other so-called businesses, this one wasn't run very well. Acacia was fighting with her potential customers in the comments, and some of the packages were never delivered. After the second and possibly last drop of mouse ears, this account went silent for some time, except one story from Acacia, where she apologizes from her absence and blames holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, moving, appointments, and her creative glow being very occupied. She also shared some of her struggles with ADHD and promises she's planning to keep creating. It's now been months since the last time anything ear-related has been posted, but one day Acacia accidentally posted an anniversary tribute to Jairus, which included a photo of Jairus holding a cat who resembles Cotton, but it's definitely another cat. Of course, this doesn't mean that the cat belongs to the Kerseys, but this also worried people. Personally, I don't think it's their cat, but I understand how, considering the history of animal mistreatment in this household, the potential of them harming another is worrying. Since we are talking about posts being made, Acacia also made this story on her public Instagram, where she speaks out about the recent decision made in the Supreme Court of the United States regarding women's rights to their own bodies, and shared she was pissed about the decision. You can pause to read the full thing, but basically she says she's scared for the future, acknowledges her privileges, and invites her friends who live in red states to reach out to her. This wasn't the first time she's posted on this account story since leaving Instagram, so it's not completely inactive. Since the Kerseys left their life as influencers, Jairus has been found buying and reselling furniture on Facebook and plenty of couches. Their ads stating they're from a pet-free home, and although this information was made public, I will show very little here because after everything these people have done, all the deception is scamming over multiple years. This is finally showing maturity and responsibility that Jairus is taking on for his family, on top of Acacia's micro-business and attempts to get a broker's license. At this point, it seems that the Kerseys are settling into their life offline, and I will not be making any more updates about them unless something really big happens. And I honestly hope it doesn't, for the sake of their children. I hope the Kerseys go on to have a good family life away from the public eye and give their children and animals the best possible care and a great life. I will, however, still make videos about some of the things in Acacia's past because, as I said before, her presence online was a true phenomenon and a big part of internet culture in the 2010s. What do you think of this? It seems that after having children and having no choice but to care for another being, Acacia realized the importance of proper care of her animals, and I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt that her current pets are cared for. I also hope this experience of selling furniture and actually working to earn money is an eye-opening and humbling one, because in the past, I remember Acacia tweeting about Jairus not needing to get a job because they don't need an extra $400 a month. And some of the furniture they sell now cost less than that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shaming them for selling furniture for money. My family also sells old furniture we don't need anymore, but I have to point out the irony here. Anyways, this is all I have to say for today. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, subscribe for more and follow me on social media.